Docker introduced 3 AI features, but almost no one is talking about it. In this video, we want to take a look at these 3 features and see what they can do. So let's start. The first feature is Gordon. Gordon is a personal assistant embedded in Docker Desktop and the CLI to streamline your workflow. So it can improve Docker files, troubleshooting containers, interact with images and code, and find problems as well as configuration issues. Here on this page you can find a lot more information, but I will just show you how to enable it and then we do a quick dive into it and see how it works. So let's open Docker Desktop. I pull it over and we go to the settings here on top right. And you need to make sure you have extensions enabled here. I guess you also have to enable this one, the Docker Marketplace, and then you can enable here in features and development, the enable Docker AI and also the Docker model runner for later. And that's it. You can also turn on experimental features if you want to get always the newest stuff. Okay, back to the main app. You got this Ask Gordon here on top, but you have to make sure you are logged in, otherwise you can't use it. So when you're logged in, you get here Ask Gordon, and then you can chat with Gordon here directly. So we can ask it what containers are running at the moment and which volumes we got. So as you can see, this asks us here if we want to allow. Yes, we allow it. Allow the volume, and it's executing the commands for us. We don't have to know the commands ourselves. Okay, we got now an overview over the running stuff. I don't have very much for MCP servers and just a few volumes because I cleaned up everything before. So back to the documentation. As you can see, you can also run it as MCP server. So you can include it in Docker, not Docker Desktop, in Windsurf, for example, Cursor, etc. and also Cloud Desktop. But I tested this out and at the moment it seems like it's not working because I get an error and looks like there's a bug at the moment. But if this is working, you could include it in your IDE like this. I have Windsurf here open and you would just add this part to your configuration to get Gordon into your IDE. And then with the tools, we can see them in Docker Desktop as well, here on the bottom toolbox, I guess. And then here, Docker, yeah. We see a few tools of the AI to interact with the containers, images, and volumes. What you also can do here is to enable the MCP Catalog, which allows Gordon then directly to access other tools or MCP servers you got in Docker Desktop enabled. So we take a look there shortly, but yeah, this is the way to get it into Gordon as well. So you can combine it in one tool or in your personal assistant or Docker. You can also use the YAML configuration and configure Gordon here as well with Gordon MCP YAML. So you put it in a folder, start there Docker AI, and it uses then the Gordon MCP YAML. And yeah, like any other Docker YAML files, you can define the services for Gordon then. And here's a more advanced example. Here in this case, you got 2 MCP servers then for Gordon, one fetch websites or anything else from the internet. And you got the file system here with access to rootfs. So not rootfs, so the current directory is mounted to the file system. So you have access to the current directory. At the moment, there are some compatible MCP servers, as you can see here, and some untested, which may also work, but not fully supported, as well as some fully unsupported servers here as well. But I think in the future there will come more and more. As I said, this is just a beta feature now. The next thing I want to show you is the MCP Catalog and Toolkit. You can find here also in the documentation, which allows you to enable MCP servers or run MCP servers directly from Docker Desktop. So let's go back to Docker Desktop and I show it directly to you there. So I already added this extension, but you just have to go to browse extensions here, search for MCP, and then you can add these extensions. And with this extension, then you get here on the left side a new menu, the MCP Toolkit, where you can just enable all available MCP servers. As you can see here, I enabled Chrome, headless browser, the fetch, and YouTube transcripts. And if we go back to my IDE, you can see I already added it here as well. So you can find this command also in Docker Desktop when you go to MCP client here. And then here on the bottom is the command to run the MCP server. You can see the MCP server then here on the right. If you click it, you can see the list of all tools available, and we can use them directly here in the IDE. So let's get the content of dynamos.ai and see if it is working. Get the website content of http dynamos.ai and see what we get. As we can see here, it read the page, fetched the content, and gives us a short summary what's in there. So it's working. We go back to the documentation quickly. There is here a link to the MCP catalog. If you click it, you get to the official hub web page where you can see all available MCP servers. And yeah, that's not that much at the moment, but I guess this will get more and more as it grows. The third feature I want to show you, which is also in beta at the moment, is the Docker Model Runner, which allows you to run quickly your inference models. So you can just pull the models from Docker Hub. So we can click here on pull models from Docker Hub to see which models are available. So just 15 models at the moment, but we got Quen 3 and some other stuff, Dynamo 3.3, and we can quickly pull them and use them directly in Docker. I'm here in small LM2 now, and here you can see the Docker pull command to my right, and we just copy it, go to our command line interface, pull this over, paste the command to pull the model. I already got it, and it will download for you if you don't have it. And then you can just run it with Docker model run instead of pull. And yeah, it's running now. We can chat with it, and it's pretty fast. It's a small model, but you can test it out and use it for your projects. And what's really cool, you can integrate it directly into your Docker stack as well. So you don't have to use Olama or external APIs, and you have all in one. You can also see it here in Docker Desktop. You get a new navigation item here, models, and you can see your pulled models here. You can't do anything else despite running it here also and chat with it directly. But in the documentation, you can find some information how to reach it via curl or external API. So let's go back to the documentation, scroll a bit down, and then we can see the commands to list all models, run the models, and a little bit more down. We can see the endpoints available. And even a little bit more, we can get here the API and an example curl. I've got here an example curl. I replaced it with localhost because the host is not working for me. And you need to make sure you enabled, as I showed before here in settings, features in development, to enable the host side TCP server support with this port. And then you can use the curl as seen here, and we can fire it up and hopefully get an essay with 500 words. While we are waiting, a quick hint: the channel supports now channel members and also super chat. So if you want to support the channel, check it out. Okay, and we are back, and as you can see, we got an essay here with hopefully 500 words. It looks a bit more, but as you can see, it's working, and you can use this inference in your projects as well. That was a very short introduction in Docker's new AI features. I just figured it out today and wanted to share it with you. I did not prepare much, but if you want to dive deeper into it, let me know in the comments and I can do more videos about it, test it out, and show it to you. I hope this helps, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.